Greetings. This is a little short video to respond to requests to see problem 130 and 131 done in R. So let me go ahead and do that for you. I already typed it up to save you the drama, the boredom of having to sit here and watch me type. But I've opened up an R chunk. And then once I open an R chunk, I type in x equals c parentheses and then put in my data and then close the parentheses. This part right here is very important. This is how you get data into R. So when you're typing in R and you want a data set put in, that's how you do it. Use the C for column. You can think about when we're working in a data frame, like back here, like in the CDC data. Let me just show you this to you real quick. If you look at the CDC data, each of the columns is a variable. Okay, so you can think about C as create me a new column, create me a new variable, all right? So that's X equals C, and then you put in the data. Now, if I want to get a histogram of that, then I just say hist X. So let me go ahead and execute just that chunk of code. So run the current choke, or or chunk, and I get a histogram of X, okay? And so if I had to describe the shape of that distribution, I would say that that is roughly bell-shaped symmetric. That's looking pretty nice in the symmetric category. Okay, so let's go take a look at problem 131. 131, they give us two columns that they want us to look at. They want to know the cigarettes smoked on a weekday and the cigarettes smoked on the weekends. So created two variables for that, W days for weekdays and WNs for weekends, and then again C to make the variables for each of those. Notice not a lot of variability on weekdays. Those 5 people in this part of the study all smoked 20 cigarettes a day. During the weekdays, a lot of cigarettes. Oh my gosh, I guess if you smoke, that's not much, but that seems like a lot to me. And then the weekends is a little more variability. Some of them seem to smoke less on the weekends than they did on the weekdays. So if we execute just that particular chunk of code right there, we see that the mean for weekdays is 20 and the means for the weekends is 16. Now that's pretty obvious that the mean of the weekdays is 20 because if all the numbers are the same, add them up, divide by the number of numbers, and you're going to get back the same number, okay? All right, so let's go take a look at the standard deviations. Now I can tell you already, before I even execute this, I can give you the answer to the question, which one has more variability. Well, look, how much variation is there in this data? There is none. So the average distance away from the mean is going to be 0, which means the standard deviation is going to be 0. Here there is more variability, and so you'll see a greater amount of variability in there. So let's go look at the two standard deviations here. And we see, as predicted, that the standard deviation on weekdays is 0, and the standard deviation on weekends is about 4.1833 cigarettes. In other words, on average, the average difference or distance away from the mean is of 16 cigarettes is about 4 cigarettes below or above. Okay. All right. Well, hopefully that helps. If not, please let me know and I'll do my job to make it better.